received some complimentary tickets to a seminar sponsored by IBM and the Mayo Clinic. And it said, Director of Idea and People Development for Walt Disney Corporation. And I'd always been fascinated by the Disney thing. Any of you? I mean, just what they do and how they do it. And the whole idea of how they can charge so stinking much money. And what you do when you go there is basically stand in line, right? And I thought, they have systems that fascinated me. And so I started practicing and learning things from the fellow who presented named Mike Vance. I've paid tribute to him ever since that week in 1973 when I learned about what became compression planning. We've taken it from many different sources and have evolved it, but he was one of the key players along the way, along with my aunt, Sister Terrence McNellis. We called her Romy, who showed me these ways of working with boards of directors and other decision-making groups. And it's just been a lifelong fascination that's evolved. But the real people that have brought this about have been folks like Jay and Rob and others who along the way have contributed so much, and you will too. And this will be a big laboratory for these days. And all of you brought projects with you or some kind of issue or something. And those will be the subject matters of the experiments that will be conducted. And as we work with this, you're going to see all kinds of things unleash, and it'll be a different learning experience for all of us in the room because of the nature of the experiments. One man described what we do as applied scientific method. Well, that doesn't have quite the jazz of compression planning as a term, but that's basically what it is, where you pose a hypothesis, you set up the experiment, you look for alternative solutions, you pick the high potential ones, you activate them and test them, and build in a feedback loop on it and evaluate your experiment. That's a model that we're going to see, and we're going to work with several times while we're here. That's where you design the experiment or your topic. The blue is where you launch it. That's where you set it up, you inform people how you're going to be approaching it. The green is an exploration phase where you go out and search for alternative approaches, parts of the issue, etc., depending on what your experiment's about. Then we're going to focus it down, and this box is the concept. Those are the keepers. Those are the key ideas that we're going to run with, we're going to implement, and then we convert it into action. Now, how many times have you ever been in any kind of meeting or planning session and you say, is anyone going to do something? Have any of you had that experience? I'm not talking Greek, am I? I can't talk Greek, but what we do here is we turn it to action. And then finally, a lot of times people will have good ideas, great ideas. Everybody has ideas, but they'll even structure them well, but blow it on communications because they forget to notify just a few people. Like they're going to send out 25,000 mailings and forget to notify the mailing department, and then at the last minute they have to jam it, and before you know it there's a war going on, all kinds of hurt feelings, people are sabotaging, all kinds of things going on. I see many of you nodding. I guess I'm talking about real issues. So we're going to show you focusing on that and a specific approach for that. And then finally just evaluating, debriefing. How often in business and organizational life do we spend hours, days, weeks, months working and never look at our process of how we work together? And I think the most important system in any kind of company or organization is not their telecommunications, it's not their computer system, it's none of that. I think it's the thinking system of the key people as they sit around tables trying to figure out critical issues. And so what is that system? And that's what we're going to be working here.